Well, you're welcome to the sports segment here on AM Show. I'm Benedict. It's a Monday morning. Of course, a lot happened over the weekend, but football action in the major European leagues. Liverpool, for the very first time this season, failed to pick all maximum points as they were held to a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford by Manchester United. Other games were played. We'll try and show you highlights when you go to the other side of Europe. In Italy, there were matches. Juventus won, Inter Milan won, Barcelona won in Spain, but same cannot be said about Real Madrid as they lost to Mallorca by a 0-0. All these and more to come, plus other stories. But we start here on the local scene, and the Black Stars B for a third consecutive time will not be at the Chan tournament. This is by virtue of failing to qualify for the competition. They drew goalless with Burkina Faso in the second leg, which happened yesterday. But, you know, on aggregate, 1-0 ended in favor of Burkina Faso by virtue of them winning here in Ghana. That was some 2 weeks ago at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Let's go live and speak to Coach Eben, who is a scout and a football coach. And of course, he's been monitoring the local Black Stars for some time. Coach, thanks so much for joining me this morning. Surprised we couldn't make it. Hello, Coach Eben. Okay, so we don't have Coach Eben on the line. We'll try and re-establish contact with him. So we'll find out. Okay, so Coach, thanks so much for joining me. I was asking if it came to you as a surprise that we couldn't qualify.
Yes and no. Yes and no, because one, based on the performance that we put up in Senegal, so I thought we could go out there and pull a surprise. And then no, because we sat at Baba Yara for them to come and pin us by that lone goal, that late goal in that game. So it was a difficult game, but I thought that the performance that we put up in Senegal, I thought we could have gone there to pull a surprise.
Where do you think we went wrong? I mean, in Kumasi was 1-0 against us. We went to Wafu, played very well, and even this same team, we eliminated them on penalties at the competition. And so how would we go there and not get a good result and make it?
Well, the point is that for the second time, we sat Kumasi for the Burkinabés to come and defeat us. And for me, it was a worry. Going all the way to Senegal, they took the lead in the third minute until we struggled to equalize in the latter part of the first half. So for me, going to this particular game, I thought we could have gone in openly, because at the end of the day, if we lose that game, we have nothing to lose. But we were going all out to have a goal. But we have two defensive midfielders, a Futu and of course Justice Blay. We have Anabila on the right, and then of course Augustine Oka on the left. And we have Eso, and then of course we have Shafiu Momoni. So it was a well-planned team that went to Burkina Faso. But you realize that the game that was played in Senegal, tactically they weren't bad. They took the lead, they took advantage, and they scored an early goal to unsettle us. But we fought back to make sure that we'll be able to go into the game. So, but in this particular game, I thought we could have gone in with one defensive midfielder, try as much as possible to play offensively. Because as much as we were preventing them from scoring, we also find it difficult to get to their goal line. And for me, that was very worrying.
Okay, so it's got to do with us, not getting a good result in the first leg. But Coachy, some have said that Coach Maxwell has been there for 6 years. Out of the 6 years, the last 3 competitions, we failed to qualify. You think that it's time for Coach Maxwell to take a rest when it comes to the local Black Stars?
To be honest with you, Maxwell is a very good coach. He's a fine coach. You also saw what he did. He just won the best coach in the just ended Wafu competition. And for me, if we should put our house in order, it's about the authorities who do the appointing to take decisions, not me. But for me, if you ask me, Maxwell is a very good coach. But just that there are factors that affect performance. And we should be able to delve into it, what really went wrong in the couple of years that we couldn't be able to go to the tournament.
Okay, so after not qualifying for the 3rd consecutive time, you think that Coach Maxwell should stay?
Yeah, if he stays, yes, I don't have any problem with that. But what I'm saying is that it depends on the authorities. And for me, he is a very good coach. But we should ask ourselves that did we do the right thing?
Okay.
Of course, we had the right materials and everything went bad. For the 3 consecutive that you're talking about, all the matches have been played in Kumasi. We struggle to play those games, especially the last 2 games that we played against the Burkinabés in Kumasi. You realize that we struggled to play. And what was the problem? Someone will say, yes, there wasn't football. But when they were footballing in Ghana, just we couldn't qualify. So for me, I have to leave it to the authorities to decide.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for your time this morning. So that was Coach Ebenezer Sifa speaking to me on the local Black Stars failure to reach another CHAN tournament. So this is the third time Ghana is not going to be there. The last time we were prevented from going there by this same Burkina Faso team. And then the previous one was Ivory Coast. And so it's really getting some way for us in terms of the CHAN tournament. But surprisingly, when we play in the Waffle, we do very well, but in the CHAN, the qualifiers, we are not even able to make it. We'll see how that will go, but we have to continue and do some more here on the show. And the Ghana Football Association Normalization Committee has responded to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, that's CAS, concerning their disqualification or their decision to disqualify and eventually threw out Professor Sekou Palmer's appeal. Now, CAS last Friday wrote to the NC to respond to Palmer's request for an injunction on the FA elections, and we can actually confirm that they've sent that response to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, and they were able to meet that deadline. Well, Randy Abbey, who is Heart of Lions director, also vying for a position on the new Executive Council, has been speaking about the Palmer and the Ghana Football Association case.
I've known Palmer for over 10 years. As one of the most hardworking people you can find. We're all not perfect. He's somebody I get on very well with. I mean, he's a great guy and all that. And I know how much he had put himself into this particular election. It's something that he had started working on for quite a long time. You know, he had invested his time, his emotions, his intellect, his finances into this particular thing. So to be hit with what was hit with at the time that it happened, something that is really, really hard to take. Now, to the extent that he remains a football administrator, and for that matter, the owner of a club, you know, being disqualified on the basis of you not having the required integrity to lead the FA, it's a very, very serious blot, an indictment on his reputation and his future as a football administrator in the Republic of Ghana. And so I agree with every step that he believes he has to take, every step that is in conformity with the law, to find or to clear his name or to find some respite as far as this particular issue is concerned. Because you and I will not want to live the rest of our lives with this particular thing hanging, yes, this tag hanging on us. Because people are probably just looking at this election. But you must look beyond this election. Is he going to lead the rest of his life as a football administrator with a tag of not having the requisite integrity to lead the association on his neck for the rest of his life? So I think that is an issue that we need to be less emotive about and to maybe put ourselves in a man's shoes.
All right, so that was Randy Abbey speaking on the Professor Sekou Palmer's case with the Ghana Football Association. We'll follow that and see how that will go. But remember, barring any legal suit, any unforeseen incident, we're going to have a new president for the Ghana Football Association by close of this week. So we'll follow everything that will happen prior to that process and feed you here on JoyNews. Well, we have to move away from the local scene, but we'll still talk about Ghanaian players abroad. And Andre Ayew, Black Stars captain, this weekend was in full flight for his side, Swansea City, when they drew 1-1 with Barnsley. Andre scored a goal in that game. All right, Andre having some fantastic time in the championship with Swansea City. He's third in 3 games there for him. Well, we have to continue from the championship to the English Premier League. And Liverpool, before their game against Manchester United, were unbeaten. Well, United proved very difficult for the side as they drew 1-1 at Old Trafford. So that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, manager of Manchester United. Later when you join us, to hear from Jurgen Klopp, who was very furious with certain decisions from the referee, as well as that goal his side conceded. So Chelsea won their game. Tottenham Hotspur, it's not going well for them. They drew at home. And then Aston Villa won. Manchester City back to winning ways. They defeated Crystal Palace in their own backyard by 2-0. Jordan Ayew played the full throttle of that game, but couldn't help his side as City won that game by 2-0. So we can take a look at the table and see how it is going. And Liverpool still lead. Now the point gap between them and City is 6. And they have 25 with City 19. And Leicester have moved to 3rd, 17 points. And Chelsea now 4th, also on 17 points. It's not going quite well for the likes of Newcastle United, Southampton and Brighton as they outline bottom of the table. Manchester United despite drawing 1-0 with Liverpool, still 13th on the table. If they had lost that game, they were going to go down in the relegation zone. Everton also 14 down there. You have the likes of West Ham United. And Tottenham Hotspur are 7th, 12 points. Well, away from the English Premier League, Real Madrid, well, they had their own troubles over the weekend. They lost by a goal to nil to Mallorca. Plus, Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Griezmann all scored as Barca won their game away to Eibar by 3 goals to nil. All right, so Barca won, Messi, Suarez, Griezmann, and then Real Madrid lost by a goal to nil. In Italy, Juventus won Bologna by 2 goals to 1. Inter Milan, their game against Sampdoria, ended 4-3 in favor of Inter Milan. Join us on Sports Today at 2, our major sports bulletin on this platform, and there will be more in terms of highlights, fixtures, plus tables of most of the major European leagues. My name is Benedict Osi. Thanks so much for your company. Keep watching JoyNews. The show continues after this short break. Don't go away.